Wow. Hurt Shakur offers $1 million to Spar versus Devin Haney, but I thought he was injured. That's what I want to talk about in this video. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I am back with some more boxing. Things just seem to keep getting worse and worse for Shakur Stevenson. And I don't know exactly why he's choosing to do some of these things, but we're going to talk about it. Now, I've made other videos. Bill Haney is posting the leaked conversation that he's having in the DMs with Shakur Stevenson, and I'm going to read it. It says, "Now I'm in Houston, you telling me come spar. You could have been said that, Ninja. Come on Friday," Bill Haney says. Shakur responds, "Y'all pull up to Houston. I'll make the gym private for you and everything." Bill Haney says, "You a duck, Ninja, on life or in life." Shakur responds, "Why you ain't been say that? Cause y'all ninjas don't want no wreck. We could put a million. We could put an M up on the sparring too. Come to Houston. We get some judges and bet the M that I torch him," right? Bill Haney, for his caption, says, "Edwin De Los Santos, Papi, he said he needs $1 million to spar. Come give real Devin Haney some work. I can't seem to do nothing to persuade the sugar to stand on everything he said about us." He says, "You don't understand where I came from, Bill. I grew up in the heart of the trenches, oldest of 9 rats and roaches. I began life next to them. Look at me, OG. There ain't nothing you can say to me that will hurt me. I can't wait till we cross paths, though." He says, "Top rank 330, come get some work, Southpaw." Shakur responds, "Until then, handle business, OG. I forgive you. One day you'll get over it. Either way, I'm a straight ninja. And see what I mean? This is another role of you doing some itch-ish. I've been in Vegas for 9 weeks. Now I'm in Houston. You telling me come spar. You could have been said that, Ninja." He says, "Come on Friday." And he says, "Y'all pull up to Houston," right? And then he's saying $1 million to spar, shaking my head. So I have an immediate question, and I'm assuming this is a new conversation because he's saying I was in Vegas, which makes sense for his Edwin De Los Santos fight, and he said I'm back in Houston, so now y'all telling me to spar. But my thing is this. They said Shakur Stevenson looked the way he did in the fight with Edwin De Los Santos because he didn't feel good, because he had a hurt hand, because he had a hurt shoulder. Now he's threatening to torch Devin Haney in sparring, who's preparing for an upcoming fight with Regis Prograis, and he wants to get judges and bet $1 million on it. First of all, I've never heard anybody put up $1 million for sparring. Me personally, I haven't heard. No, sparring is sparring. Why would you put headgear on and risk $1 million? Like, for me, the type of competitor, if I was the fighter, I want to blemish your record. If I know I'm nicer than you, I want to put that on your record. I don't want it to be sparring. I want it to count against you that, hey, when we crossed paths, I burned you. I was better than you, right? So that sounds like really high stakes for some sparring. This sounds very weird. And what I've seen in boxing is all the time when these things where the fighters, they start having this back and forth banter, oh, spar me, oh, spar me. It never really truly happens. I remember Ryan Garcia, he said he was down to spar in LA versus Gervonta Davis, and then Golden Boy got in the middle of it. And I think that's what would happen if, like, Eddie Hearn has a show on December 9th with Devin Haney. And if they're trying to go all out and embarrass each other, then that doesn't even really make sense to potentially have Devin Haney, you know, in some crazy sparring war with Shakur Stevenson weeks before his fight. Or, you know, Top Rank, they're not going to want something that juicy, but then it's not on ESPN network. You know what I'm saying? Like just some stuff you orchestrated, some fight club of your own. So none of it really makes sense. And then the other thing about the $1 million is this. You're offering $1 million to spar, but then Devin Haney offered you 75-25% split, and you said 25% is basically chump change, peanuts for what you're worth. So why would you be willing to now fight Devin Haney for $1 million. Winner takes $1 million. When you certainly would have made more than $1 million at a 25% split, and you would have been fighting for keeps because the loser, their record would be impacted. Furthermore, Devin Haney had all the belts at the lightweight division, so you would have been battling for undisputed. So for Shakur Stevenson to forego fighting Devin Haney for all the belts and quite a lot of money, more money than $1 million, I know that he would have cleared more money at 25% even, you know what I mean? Because the fight would be likely pay-per-view, et cetera, et cetera. So why would you be willing to spar for $1 million? It sounds really weird. Now back to my initial point, how are you trying to spar when you said you didn't feel good and you're coming off a bad, lackluster, subpar Edwin De Los Santos performance, which your people, Top Rank, ESPN, and Bob Arum excused by saying that your hand was hurt and your shoulder was bad, right? It just doesn't make sense. So your shoulder was bad only for the Edwin De Los Santos fight. Your hand was bad or whatever was going on. That's what they said. They said that's why you look like that, right? They even said it during the broadcast. Mark Kriegel said, oh, I think it's his hand. And then Bob Arum came out after the fact and said you had to see several doctors with various ailments. And then now you're trying to spar for $1 million against Devin Haney to like have a pissing contest with Bill Haney. I mean, this is just bizarre stuff from Shakur Stevenson. He's literally doing the opposite of what he said. And I feel like to be a true alpha male, a man has to be congruent with what he says. Shakur post-fight says one thing he could do better is relax a bit. He says that he wants to spend time in the holidays with his family, take some time away from the gym, and literally days later, he's been doing the opposite of that, going on IG Live, posting photos and the belt, posting text messages saying I don't feel good to his wifey, going back and forth with Bill Haney, responding on Twitter and leaving tweets about, you know, all the doubters and the haters and these types of things. I mean, it just sounds insane to me. It sounds insane. You're literally going against what you said you wanted to do, which was just enjoy the holidays. And it's like, whether the performance was good or not, you had a hard camp, I'm sure. You earned the belt, I guess. I mean, you have the belt, so you captured the win. Why not just rest and recover and then prove people wrong in the next outing, preferably by fighting Edwin De Los Santos in a rematch? And I got a video about that coming soon. But Shakur Stevenson, it's like he basically said the media was fake, a bunch of snakes and fakes. He said the media wasn't it, and the media is the propaganda agenda machine. And he said he can't really respect that and he don't really rock with that. And he said he had to stop caring what the media thought and what people thought and just do for him and his family. But again, he's breaking his own rules and going against everything he said that he was going to do, which is just chill out and rest. And for me, just being real, I like Shakur Stevenson, you know, but I think this would be the best thing for him to do is just like pump the brakes a bit and get out the public eye. And it's crazy that you got fighters, they got teams and PR people and this, that, and the third. And it's like the image consultant part and like the branding is like people are slaughtering their brand sometimes quicker than others just with various rants, and they don't realize it, and they just keep digging themselves deeper and deeper and deeper. And I really feel like if you type in Shakur Stevenson on boxing Twitter, and I know boxing Twitter could be a toxic place, but a lot of things right now aren't being favorable, and it's not just hate. We got to get off of that where someone has constructive criticism and a real honest opinion and people just classify it as hate. I think, and I'm seeing it, I'm seeing a lot of people who are like, I like Shakur Stevenson, but you're making it hard for us to defend you by doing some of this stuff, posting sick notes and tweets and different things. Oh, I don't feel well, to try to prove your point. Now, after basically your side claimed injury, you're trying to spar Devin Haney, who has an upcoming fight for $1 million with judges. I've never heard of this stuff. I've never heard of somebody sparring for $1 million, actually going through with it, and then them getting judges. That doesn't sound good. If you're a prize fighter, like Floyd said, I fight for a prize, dummy. Like I said before, at the end of the day, I fight for a prize. Like, if you're a prize fighter, why would you want to fight Devin Haney on sparring for $1 million when it doesn't really count? I understand Bill Haney might be tempting you or baiting you. You want to show how competitive you are. You want to prove people wrong from the Edwin performance or whatever. But I can assure you, this ain't it. This is a bad look, you know. And Bill Haney he's not the fighter. So he's doing great by his son because he's getting you riled up, building his son and promoting his son's next fight and a future beef, and you're falling for the mousetrap. He fell for the mousetrap. You falling right into the mousetrap of engaging when you literally said you were going to just chill out and enjoy the holidays. Very, very weird stuff from Shakur Stevenson. It's like his team should take his phone, or his wife should take his phone and just relax with the kids and enjoy your holidays. You're not going to change people's mind about the performance. It was boring. You know what I mean? And it's not the type of fight, because I've seen fights like where people said, oh, this fight was a bad performance, or it was not that good, or this and this happened, and it was off of emotion. Like even Errol Spence versus Sean Porter. A lot of people, if you go watch that fight again, Errol Spence was dogging it out, and I thought he clearly won the fight. But you have to almost take the emotion out of it, of seeing it as a live event, and run it back. Or even like Wilder Fury 1 or whatever. You know, there's certain fights like that where you take the emotions out of it, rewatch it, Mayweather versus Cotto, and then you see it a bit clearer. This wasn't that type of fight. I'm not going to rewatch it because it was not a fight that I want to rewatch. But I'm guaranteeing you, if you do rewatch it, you're not gonna have these new thoughts about, oh, it was a superb, brilliant performance. And that was acknowledged by Shakur Stevenson himself immediately after the fight. He said, I put on a bad performance. I apologize to my idols. Very bizarre stuff that I'm seeing from this new generation, this TikTok age, the Twitter fingers, the back and forth. And again, what's it for? You're not going to change people's mind about the performance. The best thing you could do is rest up, recover, and rematch Edwin De Los Santos, clean that up, and then resume your career and stay winning. You know what I mean? But that's just my opinion as an old head. Y'all let me know what you guys think. I'm the best in the business, and it's not even close, and I'm out.